Today I'm going to show you how you can record and plot social media stats over time using a free web-based service. Now that free web-based service is called ThingSpeak, so we're just going to go ahead and create ourselves an account on ThingSpeak. So we're going to sign up, we're going to give ourselves a user ID, we are going to put in our email address, and give ourselves a password. Same again. Agree to the terms of use. Okay, so we're successfully signed up, and now we need to create ourselves a channel. Now the channel is the place in which we're going to store that data. So all data is stored in channels on ThingSpeak. So we're going to call it social media stats, and we're going to collect stats on Twitter followers and also our Instagram followers. Now we could record up to 8 different numbers in this channel, but I'm just going to record 2. I'm going to record some Twitter follow numbers and Instagram numbers. Now the rest of these fields aren't important, except this one. Do we want to make this channel public? If we make it public, then other people can see the data that we collect. I'm just going to keep this one private. So we're going to save the channel. So the next thing to do is to then populate that channel with the data that we collect. In order to do that, we are going to use this MATLAB analysis tool. So we're going to click on, we're going to create a new MATLAB analysis tool, and we're going to use some custom code. I'm going to give you the code, so you don't need to worry too much about knowing MATLAB code. But make sure it's selected, custom is selected, and we'll just go ahead and create that. We'll call this something useful like scrape social media stats. And then you need to use the code that I'm going to give you, and it'll be posted in the description of this video. But here it is, and this is the basic code, but we need to now add in the things that are particular to this channel. So we need the channel ID, which is all the information about our channel is stored over here on the right. So we're going to put the channel ID there. Because we've got a private channel, we need to use an API key, which is basically used to authenticate us. And because we're writing to the channel, we need to use the WriteKey. So we paste that in there. Okay, then the next things we need to do are to work out how to grab that data. So I'm going to collect some Twitter stats. I'm going to collect Justin Bieber's number of followers, which is around 73 million. Now it's important that you can see these numbers without being logged in. So I'm not logged in here, and in fact I'm using an incognito window just to make sure that it's not using any cookies that I may have created. So this is definitely visible without being logged in, so that's great. So this service should be able to access this page. So what I need to do now is to look at the source code for this page and work out where in the source code that number is. So I'm going to search for the word followers. Okay, and it's found these few instances. Now this is the number we want, this 73 million number, and I kind of want to find a tag in the code that this number comes after that's going to be fairly specific to this number. So I'm going to use I think I'm going to use this bit of text here, because this number comes after this bit of text, and I think that bit of text is fairly unique to that number. So I'm just going to check that it only occurs once on the page. Yeah, so that only occurs once on the page. So what I need to do is to take the URL here, go back to my code. I'm going to put the URL in here, and I am going to grab that bit of this bit of text as well, and this is the bit of text that I used to find the number. And that's the wrong bit of text. I need to get that bit of text. So just copy that. And we're going to pop it in there. Okay, so those are the 2 bits of information I need. Now I'm going to do the same for Instagram. With Instagram, I'm going to get the number of followers that Kim Kardashian's got. So again, we're not logged in. We're using an incognito tab. So this is definitely visible just without being logged in. So I'm now going to view the page source of this. I'm going to look for followers. Okay, followers doesn't exist, but follow does. And this is the number I'm looking for. It's around 57 million. So I'm looking for a tag that is fairly unique to that. Okay, so followed by seems to be fairly unique. I'll just check. Okay, that only occurs once on the page, so that's good for getting that number. So I'm going to copy that, place it in here. That's the tag I'm going to search for. I also need the URL, so I'll grab that. Okay, so those are the 2 bits of information I need for each number I want to collect: the URL and the tag I look for in the HTML. And I've done that for Twitter and Instagram. Okay, and the rest of the code should just run. So we're gonna run and save that. Okay, so that's collected the 2 numbers there. Brilliant. Okay, so that's written them to the channel that we created. And what we now need to do is to make sure that that happens every so often. So we want that to recur. So we're just going to create a new time control at the bottom of that page, clicking the button. Recurring, how often do we want it to recur? Now you can have it recurring quite often. I'm just going to record these stats once a day. It doesn't really matter what time it records them. Obviously I want to make sure that I execute the code we've just written. So that's been set up correctly. So if I save that, that is now going to run this code above daily. Now it's already run. I ran it before, but I'm going to run it one more time, just so we've collected a couple of data points. Okay, so we've got those 2 data points again. So that's all we need to do in terms of collecting the data. Now what we need to do is to visualize the data. So I've gone to my apps, which you can also access in this menu, and I'm going to create a visualization, which is essentially a plot. So I'm going to create a new visualization. Again, we're going to use custom code. It's going to be MATLAB code, but I'm going to give you the code in the description to this video. We'll call it something useful: plot social media stats. I'll pop in the code that I've pre-written here. Now again, we're going to need some numbers. We're going to need the readChannelID, which is the same as the channel that we were writing to. I'm going to need the readAPIKey key just to authenticate us, because the data is private. Now the rest of the code should be the same, except for the legend, which is going to tell us what the different lines are. So we're collecting Twitter data, so we want to write Twitter followers, and we're also collecting Instagram data, so Instagram followers, and you want to do those in the order in which you recorded the data in the channel. And these last 2 things are not important. That's just where the legend is going to be placed on the plot. So if we run, and we're also given the option of making this public. Do we want people to be able to see this visualization? And I think that's quite helpful for people to be able to see. So we're going to make it public. So we'll run that, and let's just see if it's worked. Okay, so down here's the plot, and you can see our Twitter followers are around 7.3 million, and our Instagram followers are around 5.7 million. Sorry, 73 million and 57 million. This number's in tens of millions. And so that's great. So we should be able to view that from the web. So if we go to our channels, our social media stats, this channel's not public. we get rid of those, and we can add the visualization we've just created. Sorry, no, didn't want to do that. I want to add a visualization, which is that one. Okay, so there it is. So it's stored there. Now we can actually also go to our we can go to our apps and just view that visualization by clicking this, and it'll just give us a full screen plot. And you can actually share that URL with anyone, and that will always point to this. Will always point to this graph, and over time you'll see your numbers being updated, and hopefully you'll get some nice increases in your social media followers. Great. Well, thanks for viewing this video, and I hope you find it useful.